Hello guys, so what we have here is a Surefire X300vn. This particular one has the new XPL high intensity factory domeless. So it focused very well, very nice cool tint, and throws focus perfectly. Okay, right now I have the DriverVN in it, config for 2 mode, always starts on high and a second of low. So for the most part, I think it works for me because whenever I grab the light, it'll turn on high. So, and if I'm momentary slower than 1 second, it'll always remain on high. So it's not even a second; it's probably half a second, but maybe a second. I haven't really timed it, but the point is, it turns on mostly on high, and that's what I need. And when I can grab a low if I need to. Okay, I'll show you guys how it works in a little bit. And the beam. So let's first, safety check, and then we can talk more about the gun. Oh, gun was loaded because it was on my nightstand, and I did that on purpose so that to show you guys that sometimes we should always safety check, and let's safety check again just to look down the chamber, make sure there's no round. Alright, no round in the chamber. Let's pull the trigger, safe direction. We're good. Alright, 100% cleared. Okay. Alright, let's go check out the light and see what the beam looks like. And see the, first actually let's look at the UI. So this one right here has 2 modes, always starts on high. Okay. So that's high, and that's high again. So if I do momentary burst, roughly about a second apart, I'll always have high. But if I change the modes faster than a second, I should have high and low. There you go. That's the low right there. High, low. If I get off the switch for a little bit, turn it back on, it'll always be on high. So high, take cover, still high. Okay, so for the most part it's always high. It's basically an always high on light with a low if you need it. Okay, or otherwise if you if I'm in a situation where I need the light, I'll probably just swap it on just high and then just maneuver that way, unless I get so all tactical and need to, conceal my location. Anyway, so there you go. All right, that's the UI. I can it's easy to change the modes, so I can actually just make it single mode if that's what you want, and you have to have single mode. We can do that. Okay, it has a ton of modes. It has high and strobe too if you want, but I think just high and low or just a single mode works. Okay, the factory light comes with just a single mode. So for most people, I imagine just the single mode works for them. For me, I just want an additional low just because. Okay, on this particular driver, this is a special DriverVN, so it's not the normal one that takes single lithium ion cell. This one takes 2 CR123 for 6 volt. Okay, and the LED is only driven to 3 amps, and I've chosen 3 amp draw because I feel that is bright enough, but it's adequate for the heat control, and it's a little bit high for CR123, for 2 CR123 for sure, but 3 amp on 2 CR123 is not gonna, I don't know, maybe it's not safe for others, but for me I think it's okay. I've been testing it quite a bit, and the cell does get a little hot, but nothing alarming. If my life depends on it, I'd rather have CR123 than RCR123 or IMR123. The reason because these CR123A primaries, they have a higher shelf life, they don't self-discharge, and they're more reliable in my opinion, and I can just pop in the cell and forget about them, as opposed to the IMRs where I have to charge. Okay, and that's the main reason why I'm using the 3 amp driver 3 amp DriverVN with the 2 CR123 setup. And I can totally see why Surefires are sticking with CR123 in their weapon lights. CR123s are just, they're not that energy dense compared to rechargeables, and they're not very, economical. But for a weapon light, when your life depends on it, I do think that maybe CR123 primaries is the way to go. Okay, enough on that. Let's go look at the beam. Okay, again, no round in the chamber, no magazine. We can walk around around the house with it. I'm gonna hold the phone with my left hand and let's check it out. Give me a second. Okay, that's high. See, always high. Okay, if you do it fast, you have a low. High, low, high, low. It's very hard to, it's kind of all washed out in the video, but it's all, I would say it's a perfect focus. Okay, your focus is going to be as good as however you center the LED, and for this particular sample, I've gotten the LED very centered, so it's a perfect focus. Very intense beam. It shines way down the street, so a lot more light than I guess we would normally need. It'll blind out a bunch of people for sure, and whoever's on the other end is not going to be able to see anything if you have this kind of amount of light in their face. You can see it gets all the way down the hallway, and it's about 20 feet down to the hallway, and it's just blinding. Okay, look, even the ceiling bounce is bright. So yeah, incredibly bright compared to the factory light for sure. Okay, and let's feel, see, the light is barely even warm. It's still cold actually. So 3 amp with the LED on copper, very well heat controlled. Okay, and I think that is adequate for a weapon light. If I have to guess, the light is probably putting out around, I don't know, 900, 1,000 lumen out the front, maybe 900 out the front, and that is 400 more than the factory light, while still retaining CR123A primary's capabilities. Okay? All right, that is all. Thank you.